Ancient Greek medicine had a profound influence on the cultural views towards sexual abstinence. The belief in semen retention was supported by medical theories and practices that promoted the idea of physical and mental well-being. The ancient Greek physician Hippocrates, who is widely regarded as the father of Western medicine, believed that semen was a vital fluid that needed to be conserved to maintain good health. He argued that excessive sexual activity could lead to physical and emotional imbalances, including fatigue, weakness, and melancholy.
The ancient Greeks believed that semen was responsible for the creation of new life, and therefore semen retention was essential for procreation. Aristotle, another influential Greek philosopher, believed that semen was a vital component of the human body and not just a waste product. According to his theory of reproduction, semen played a crucial role in the formation of the body and the transmission of characteristics from parents to offspring.
The concept of semen retention was also linked to the practice of ancient Greek medicine, which included remedies and treatments for sexual disorders.
Ancient Greek physicians used a combination of diet, exercise, and herbs to treat impotence, premature ejaculation, and other sexual dysfunctions. They believed that semen retention was an essential component of these treatments, allowing the body to heal and restore itself.
The ancient Greek philosopher Plato was one of the most influential thinkers in Western history. An often overlooked area he discusses is the value of sexual moderation and channeling sexual energies into creative and intellectual development.
In many dialogues, Plato extols the virtues of living a measured, moderate existence without excessive sensual indulgence. He believed the true purpose of human life was the cultivation of wisdom, truth, and beauty through disciplined focus of one's energies. In this worldview, chasing bodily pleasures alone leads to enslavement to appetites and a life not worth living. One area Plato specifically advises control is sexuality. While acknowledging erotic desire as normal, he considered sex a potentially dangerous force that could override reason when left unchecked. Several passages metaphorically refer to the sexual horse that needs reining in with wisdom so growth is possible. Unmastered carnal lust leads to lack of control and chaos socially. Importantly, Plato was not calling to eliminate sensuality outright. Rather, he argues sexual moderation enables those energies to be sublimated into higher pursuits like philosophy, creativity, and public service. Strength gained from abstinence gets channeled towards developing one's highest talents. Intimate relations themselves also become more meaningful with this foundation of self-mastery.
Plato, in his Symposium, discussed the concept of eros and its relationship to sexual desire and abstinence. He believed that true love and desire could only be achieved through intellectual and spiritual connections, not physical ones. This led to the notion that sexual abstinence could heighten one's capacity for love and desire, as it allowed for a deeper connection with the object of one's affection. Plato also recognized the dangers of sexual desire, which could lead to irrational behavior and clouded judgment. By practicing sexual abstinence, one could overcome these negative effects and achieve a rational, balanced state of mind.
Notable students of Plato, like the philosopher Epicurus, further expanded on how measured avoidance of sex preserves vitality, which fuels productive work. Later Greek medical thought similarly linked semen retention with increased vigor and intellect. Conversely, excess produces both physical and mental weakness.
In his seminal work, The Republic, Plato lays out an ideal society built on temperance and justice. He states rulers must sublimate their sexual desires into loving the truth, common good, and perfection of their souls. Their self-discipline enables clear judgment and care for citizens. Development of wisdom and virtue get prioritized over base pleasure seeking.
Greek traditions of athletic training likewise emphasized sexual control for gaining mental toughness and endurance. Fighters abstained from sex, often for months, to build energy for competition. Plato subscribed to similar beliefs around conservation being key to strength.
In the dialogue Phaedrus, Plato specifically locates erotic desire in the realm of the irrational, contrasted with reason and wisdom. Yet he says that properly directed under guidance from higher faculties, passionate energy sparks courage and creativity. The charioteer representing intellect must guide the unruly horses of lust and impulse. Here, Plato metaphorically discusses sexual sublimation.
The role of gender played an important part in the ancient Greeks' views and practices of sexual abstinence. Men and women had different expectations and roles when it came to celibacy, reflecting the broader societal norms and values of that time.
For men, sexual abstinence was often seen as a path to self-improvement and personal growth. It was believed that by practicing semen retention, men could preserve their vital life force or spermatic energy, which could in turn be used to improve physical and mental performance. On the other hand, women were often expected to lead a life of sexual abstinence after marriage. This was emphasized by societal expectations of female chastity and virginity, with women being viewed primarily as childbearers and homemakers. While some women who chose to practice celibacy for personal or religious reasons were respected, those who were perceived to be promiscuous were often shamed and ostracized. However, it's important to note that the ancient Greeks did not have a monolithic view on gender roles and sexual abstinence. There were exceptions to both practices, as evidenced by historical accounts and literary works. For instance, there were women who chose to remain celibate throughout their lives, such as the priestesses of Hera, who were expected to remain virgins. There were also men who rejected the practice of sexual abstinence, such as the hedonistic philosophers Epicurus and Aristippus, who believed in the pursuit of pleasure.
Apollo, the god of music and prophecy, was said to have abstained from sexual relations. He believed that sexual activity would detract from his abilities and therefore remain chaste.
Apollo's story is just one example of the many mythological figures who supported the importance of sexual abstinence. These stories helped shape the cultural and religious framework in which celibacy was valued by the ancient Greeks. In addition to serving as archetypes, these myths provided guidance on the consequences of sexual behavior. The gods and goddesses who engaged in promiscuity often faced punishment or experienced negative consequences as a result of their actions. This reinforced the idea that celibacy was a preferable lifestyle. Overall, we find a common theme across Plato's works, emphasizing moderation of carnal pleasures who focus energy on the development of talents, self-mastery, and service.
While his uber-rationalist ethics seem harsh today, Plato possessed insights into sexuality's potency and the need for its measured cultivation to fuel creative talents. His moderate perspective valued bodily pleasure, but prioritized self-rule and cultivation of arts and intellect as higher aims benefited by the conservation of sexual heat into fuel for their development. Reason governing impulse leads to balance. Plato was described as a beautiful charioteer driving the two noble steeds of human soul potential. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more semen retention videos. Thank you for watching.